Welcome to a guide to new mods on Farming Simulator 19 with me, MrSealyp. Okay then, I am redoing this intro for this guide too. For some reason it didn't upload yesterday. I don't know why. It wouldn't upload, something went wrong. But anyway, so this is now being posted Wednesday morning. These are mods for Monday and Tuesday, the 3rd and 4th. Is that right? 3rd and 4th or 2nd and 3rd? Of August. So, first up, let's get Monday's mods looked at. We have got Case IH Corn Cutters. This is by Matt26. This is actually kind of one mod but split into two different. We've got the 2206. I've got the 2208. Obviously 2208 slightly larger than 2206. Nice mods. These are for the smaller case harvester. 1660 if I'm not mistaken. These are obviously under corn headers. Now the Capello Quasar F4 is 17 grand, which is a 3 metre header. If we go right the way across to the end, this one is a 4.5 metre for 17 grand, so you get a slightly larger header for the same sort of money. Like I say, that is for the Case IH 1660. Now this will use up how many slots? 3. And if we click on it, we have got the option of that, the 2206, which is the 4.5 metre, or the 2208. Now that actually the width hasn't changed on that. But that's the wider one. You're getting some extra rows on there. Another 10 grand though. Wow, takes up to 27. But there you go. So that's the corn cutters from Matt26. Now we have had some updates actually. I mustn't forget those. So Monday's updates. Prozmasov, I always get that wrong. The map by Prozmason. The Flegel trailer pack by VNSF DG2 has had an update. The Agramash BMSP cultivator and kind of seeder pack by VNSF DG2 has had an update. The John Deere 959M Fella Buncher by North Modding Company and Evgen Zaitsev has had an update. And the Agramash POH 3/4 plough by Herps has had an update. Yesterday's updates, that's Tuesdays, the Farming Legend map by Fernand24 has had an update. The Manure Trading System by Holger Sengstock has had an update. The Cramp Bandit 550 by Lucas DeJoe and Danny86 has had an update. The Metaltech DBL pack by Matt26 has had an update. And I think I said Hoa, but I think somebody said to me it's German, so it's Harver. The Harver SLW 45TN by Agrartechnik and Nordeifel has also had an update. So that's all the updates. I'm not going to go through what all of them are because there's loads of information on what the change logs are. If you're interested, go in and have a look onto the Modhub on Farming Simulator website, and it has all the information on what the change logs are. Okay, so next mod for Monday, we have got these. These are the new Holland 700 TL series front loaders. I like the fact we've got like matching equipment, and these really do match up very, very nicely. So we've got the... have they got it on the side somewhere? Yeah, there you go. We've got 770 TL just down there. And we've got the 750 TL. The 750 TL is designed for the slightly smaller tractors, and the 770 for the slightly larger. Now obviously in the New Holland range at the moment, the T5 is the smaller one, the T6 is the larger one, because the T7 and up doesn't have front loader attachers. So realistically those are the two tractors they're going to go for. Very neat, very tidy, lovely detailed mods. Colours match really, really well. Very, very cool. These are by Dim.Creative. These will obviously find in the front loader attachers. I apologise if I'm talking very fast. We've got a lot of mods to get through, as we often do on these mod reviews. They are dropping them like you wouldn't believe. So for the TTL 750, which is a small one, it's 5,400. They're both 3 slots for the first one, and for the TL 770 it's 8,000, so it's because it's a little bit bigger. There are no other options available. You get what you get. Very nice indeed. And lastly, for Monday's mods, we've got this in MrSealyp green. Obviously, it's the Kverneland Tarup TA753C. This is a windrower. This is by no.naim LSMC, and it will use up 5 slots. Again, nice detailed mod. I think this is a 7 metre windrower. We've got some larger ones and some small ones, but this has got some nice touches on it. Some lovely detail in the PTO shafts and everything spinning, and you know, it's very, very nice indeed. So this is under windrowers. The smallest one we've got is top 462 for 10 grand, which is a 4.6 metre. Then we go up to an 8.5 metre with the Kuhn SR314 or 314. So it's kind of between both of those because it's a 7 metre. I think we have got a slightly smaller one, a modded one. Oh, I can't remember what that was now. But anyway, at the end here, 14,000 for a 7 metre. Options available. We can change the rim colour to any of those. So we might want to go with orange on the rims, and then main colour again, anything you like to match your tastes at that particular moment in time. Like I say, very nice, neat, tidy mod. What we'll do very, very quickly, because I'm kind of in that damned if you do, damned if you don't territory, that if I just show the piece of machinery, people then say you used to show them being used, you show the animations, you don't do it anymore. If I do the animations, people then say your videos are too long, you do too much, so can't win. Anyway, turning it on, dropping it down. I like it. Lights, obviously, with our indicators. But yeah, very cool this. Slight little vibration in the PTOs when they start off, but yeah, there we go. Let's turn that off. Right. Lights off. Let's move on to the first of the mods for Tuesday. Yes. So, right here, I'll put the light on because otherwise it's going to be hard to see. We have got, well, that's right, this is the Amazon AD/P303 Super. This is a cedar by Arikson. It will use 9 slots. Again, the detail on here, I know people do the whole, oh, not another 3 metre cedar. A lot of farms use small equipment and small cedars, you know, at the end of the day, but you cannot fault the level of detail is just incredible. It does have ridge markers as well. Very, very nice bit of kit. This is obviously under cedars, so let's go across the cedars. We've got 3 metre, where are we? 3 metre Amazon for 13 grand. There's a few 3 metre ones. Obviously, there's the Vaderstat, there's Agramash, and then we start going up a little bit bigger. There's a whole load of 3 metre stuff. If we go right the way to the end, hang on, I think I've passed it. There we go. The ADP303 Super, 35,600. It's not cheap, to be fair, and it doesn't direct drill. It is what it is. Options available. Just you get what you get. 2,000 litre tank on it. Very cool looking mod. Next we have got this interesting looking contraption. This is the Leveler Transportable by NicoPix. This is a telehandler leveler, but with the CSZ pack, if you've got that installed, which has got a few different adapters, you could probably attach this to various different bits of equipment and machinery. This is a silage leveler, and it comes as kind of 2 separate units when you buy it. You've got the actual main bar beam which attaches onto the front, the telehandler, and then you've got the trailer to it as well. We'll have a quick look install first. This uses, it's actually 3 slots for the little trailer attachment, 3 slots for the leveler itself. But if we go up to levelers and scroll across, as you can see, you've got the lizard leveler and the lizard cart. Each one is 3 slots. Options available. We can change the main colour from red to yellow. Those are the only 2 options available. So what does it actually do? Well, let's start that up. Let's get our help window open. So what we need to do is detach, make sure I detach the right bit. So I've detached it from the trailer. The problem is, actually what I should have done, let's attach it. Let's fold leveler first. That puts the bar away. Right. That's interesting. Okay, that's better. That was weird. So it's still attached to the trailer at the moment. So what I have to do now is detach it from the trailer. Now I can lift it up off the trailer and I've got my leveler. Now the leveler itself doesn't extend, it's a leveler. I mean, at the end of the day you put it the height you want it at, and with the telehandler you kind of push across the actual silage pile. But what you can do is with the telehandler is you can extend and retract the boom, so you can push the silage pile, chaff pile, to level it at whatever height you want, obviously, because you can then tip it, bring it down again, push forward and backwards, and you know, away you go. So there you go. That's the leveler transportable by NicoPixes. What I can now do, if I take it back onto here, it should give me the option. It says, there we go, to put it onto the cart. And then what I can do is, if you extend the bar, which is I suppose a little bit unrealistic because then it goes through the actual thing, but detach it, swing around and then pick it up and off you go. You don't really want to drive around with that whole thing on the front. Like so. There you go. Fantastic. Moving on. We've got these. These are the metal barrier pack by BaluFSH. These are 5 slots each to place, and we do have 3 of them. There's the narrow one, there's the slightly larger one, and an even larger one. I think it's 4, 5 and 8 metres, I think they are. We'll have a look in store at the moment. These got nice cool animation actually. If I press circle to lower it down, look at the handle winding. Now these look seriously used, kind of rusted base. The bar looks like it really needs repainting. Same with the next one. If I go to there. Now one thing I will say, and it's a slight, you know, when you look at the actual width of them, if you're going to use these kind of properly, or if you're going to use them individually anyway, and your width you're going to go through is kind of that, if you're going to put a fence there or something, because they only raise up to about, what's that, 60 degrees? It's a little bit past 45. On the narrower one, you're going to have trouble getting under it, especially with high-sided equipment. Obviously, it's alright where I've got it placed at the moment, because I've got loads of room, I can kind of go around it to the side. But if you were using this as an actual gate, and you had a fence at the end, when it gets to that point there, you may struggle to get under it with a high-sided vehicle. But very, very nice detailing. It looks fantastic, and I love the animation with the winding handle. These are under placeables. I think they were decoration. There you go. Metal barrier 4 metre for 1,200, 5 metre for 1,400, and 8 metre for 2,000. These were, how many slots? Yeah, I said already, 5 slots each for the first one of each that you decide to go for. Right. Next up, we have the Ursus 1212 or 1212 or 1212, whatever you call it. This is by Kashtan18, and this is going to use up 10 slots. It's an interesting one, and I'll tell you for why. The main body pretty much looks like the 1214 that Kashtan18 has already released. However, there are some differences in that this is the 2-wheel drive version. It doesn't have the chunkier tyres on the front, and we've got this open kind of cab at the roof is kind of lifted. However, that being said, the 1214 is still on the actual bodywork. It doesn't say 1212, which threw me a little bit because I thought maybe I'd picked the wrong option or something. It's a nicely detailed mod. Let's jump in. Now one thing I will say, I love the mud flaps kind of animation. Let's get this out onto a bit of grass so we can actually see what they're doing. it's all well and good having grass, but then it kind of gets in the way. Lights. Sounds great. Now that top roof hatch, if I put on my help window, doesn't actually close. So I hope it doesn't rain. So that is a difference between this and the other one. The fan speed doesn't increase, I don't think, when you accelerate. That stays ticking over at that speed. You can just see that fan moving down in there. This is a 117 horsepower tractor. You can't change the horsepower on that at all, but let's have a look at the options in store. So this is found under small tractors. There you go, the Ursus 1212, 32 grand. It's not expensive, which is pretty good. I saw already said it used up 10 slots. Options available, we've got a few actually. We can change the rim colour to any of those available, depends how garish or odd or peculiar. Actually, it doesn't look too bad. We can change the main colour again to a selection of any of those, but let's go with an orange maybe. Then design colour is the kind of bulk of around the engine and the chassis and that kind of stuff. So we can change that maybe to a dark grey, or if you wanted to, you can go with a yellow to kind of match the bodywork. So those are your options for your colour. Configuration, we can have standard on the front, which has got like a trailer hitch. We can have a 200 kilogram front weight. Why is it not put the front weight on? That's weird. Oh, it's put it underneath. I'm looking thinking, where's the weight? It's underneath. There we go. 540 kilogram front weight and back to standard. We can have on the back standard or the big mud flaps that are flapping around on the one I've got. Quite like those. We can have front loader attacher like so. And then our wheel setup, we can have standard with a wheel weight, rear twins, and back to standard again. So those are the options available on the Ursus 1212. And that's weird because it says 1212 there, it says 1212 in the Modhub, yet it's 1214 on the bodywork. That'll probably get an update at some point fairly soon, I would imagine. It doesn't look much difference to the 1214 other than the fact it's got the smoother tyres in the front because it's not obviously four-wheel drive. So there you go, that's the Ursus 1212 / 1214, but that will get sorted. Right. Next up, we have got this. This is the Berger HTS 34.16. This is by Vertexdezign and rafftnix. This is 22 slots and is an auger wagon. There is a slight difference to it though. Well, one of the differences you can have is this little attachment here, which is something a little bit different. You don't come across that very often. 48,000 litre capacity, I think it was. We'll have a check of that in store. Lovely detailed mod. Although one thing I will say, it's a little bit pricey. It does look very, very cool indeed, actually. Don't get me wrong, triple axle. Detailing all around here is incredible. Very, very nice indeed. So, let's hook up to a tractor. So, we've got cover. Cover open. I've got a little bit of seeds actually. Cover closed. Then we've got pipe in. Just folds that pipe up very, very neatly. Pipe out. Now we can adjust the angle of the pipe like so for higher or lower loading or unloading. I think we can do the nozzle as well. Well, actually we can actually adjust the height of the trailer. The actual hitch bit itself, depending on the height of whatever tractor, you can kind of level it out a little bit better. And then we've got, which one was it? There we go, we can actually adjust the nozzle as well, as long as you don't get it caught up with the actual... So in trouble with the PlayStation controller, I've said it before, when you're using these thumbsticks, it's very difficult not to catch on with the... there we go. Fantastic. So, what does it cost? What are your options? Well, let's have a look. This comes under auger wagons. And if we scroll right across till we get to it, which is just there, the HTS 34.16, this is 95,440, 46,000 litre capacity, 240 horsepower requirement. Like I said, 22 slots. It's fairly heavy on the slot count. It will take all of those crop types. It will take seed and fertilizer. It won't do lime. Options available. We can have no stickers like that, just as the Anna Berger and the actual designation. We can have with stickers that has all this lovely information, which is the one I went for. I just thought it was a little bit more interesting. Stickers off. Then we can have standard or agricultural tyres, like so. And then we've got the option here on the chute. We can have the grain chute, which is kind of the standard auger wagon we're used to, or you can have the seed auger. So that's kind of more precise for putting it into actual seeders, especially if you've got a small seeder. You can kind of lean that in and that will direct the seed in. I mean, realistically in game it will still do it because we've used other auger wagons before. But if you go with the seed auger, that adds another 15 grand. That takes the total price up to 110,850 for a 46,000 litre. So realistically, if we go back here and look at the Elmers, you can get the Hallmaster 70,000 litre for 93 grand. So, you know, I mean, it may well be close to the real price and that kind of thing. And again, it's not a huge amount of difference in price. Big difference in load capacity is the one thing I would say. But a very nice, neat, tidy mod by Vertexdezign and rafftnix. So let's just unhook that. Swing round. Just go onto this one very quickly. We've got a little ditty. This is the Pottinger Fox 303 by MefiuFs. This is a cultivator, and it's one of the ones we're kind of seeing quite a lot of more now, especially with the 3 metre selections. In that it has a front and rear 3-point link, so you can then attach a seeder behind, so you can cultivate and put a 3 metre seeder on the back and do the whole process in one hit. The Kuhn, there's like a Kuhn pack that has all those selections as well, but more and more of these that are coming up, we're getting very nice detailed mod. I mean, the detailing here on the pins for all the different things that connect, 3-point link, it's very nice indeed. Love or hate 3 metre bits of machinery. Again, you can't take away the detail on here is fantastic. Very nice indeed. Right, this will be found under, I think it was, under regular cultivators? I think so. There we go, the Pottinger Fox 303, 12,000 for a 3 metre. Obviously there are cheaper alternatives for larger sizes and that kind of thing, but some of those don't have the capacity for putting a seeder on as well. But there you go, another one to add into the mix. Pottinger may be your thing. You may have been longing for a Pottinger Fox 303 for a long time, and now it's finally here for you. Right, I think we've only got a couple left to do, I think. Right, next up we've got this. The trailer may seem a little bit familiar, but this is the Sega Uno pack. This is by STv or Steve, depends how you say it, Modding. This is kind of a twin pack type thing. We have got a dolly. How far actually went round the right way, wouldn't it? There we go. We've got the dolly here, the Sega Uno dolly. Loads of detail on this. This thing's incredibly detailed. But as part of this pack, we get the Cramp Kipper KS 950 off-road trailer. Now we've already got one of these in game as standard, but this has got a few things we can adjust. As you can see, that's not the standard red that you kind of get with it. So this is what comes in kind of in this pack. You may go in looking and find the Sega Uno, but then not realise there's the trailer as well. But anyway, so we do get the trailer too. Now you can detach the dolly, obviously, and you can just use the trailer if you want to with a normal fifth wheel attaching truck, semi, whatever you want, or you could use the dolly with other trailers. You don't have to use these two together if you don't want to. So obviously the dolly is under dollies. There you go, the Sega Uno, 12,000 options available. We can change the rim colour. I do like the chrome. I like chrome rims, I don't know why. Bit of a baller, you know. No, not really, not even slightly. You know, whatever colour you want that to be. We can have our wheel brown as Trelleborg, and then we can have standard or wides. If we go back, we can have knock-ins standard or wide. I do like the wide knock-ins. That looks really cool. That tread looks amazing on there. Really does look good. Or we can have Michelin's, which has come as standard. Now design colour, it says we can have white, which at the moment doesn't show anything on there apart from there's the logo on the back there, and you've got the bit kind of to the front. If we put it on colour, it adds the Agro Liner logo on the side there. I think it does on the other side as well. Yeah. So that's kind of the two options available there under your design. And then the actual trailer itself, as you might expect, is under trailers. So the Cramp KS 950 62 gram, which I think is exactly the same price as the standard one. The actual dolly is 3 slots, the trailer is 13 slots. Options available, we can change the main colour to the Cramp green, black, zinc, which I quite like. That's quite nice. I always like going for something a little bit different. Stainless steel, which is the one I went for, or matte black. I think the matte black looks quite cool as well, especially with the orange reflectors around the side of it. That does look really nice. We can change our rim colour, again, the chrome, if you want to go with chrome, or you might want to go with an orange to match the reflectors, which I think that looks brilliant. I really do like that a lot. Tyre choices, we've got trailer balls, Michelin's, or knock-ins, and they all come as standard. And the same with the decal, we can have white or we can have red. I think the white looks a little bit better with that, doesn't it? So there we go. Those are your options for the KS 950. Like I say, if we scroll back across, come to the other one, the price is exactly the same. Slot count's a little bit higher because obviously you can change the colour and bits and bobs like that. Capacity is the same, you know, but it's just because you've got a few little things you can tweak and change to make it your own. Right, which moves us on to the very last of our mods, I believe, if I haven't missed something. I hope I haven't. This is the Hay Warehouse. This is by Moechtegernbauer. An interesting design, something a little bit different. In the real world, obviously in the game it doesn't really make a huge amount of difference, but we've got these slatted sides to allow airflow through to dry everything out and stop damp and that kind of thing, while still protecting them for the worst of the weather. We've got these raising and lowerable kind of sheet sides on here, which I really, really like. We've got lighting as well. If I just click on that, circle, it does both sides. And if I go to the electrical boxes here, that will do your lights on and off as well. The detail is great. I love the I-beams. They look metal. I will say though, there's a lot of, it looks like dirt and damp encroachment down the bottom here on the concrete slab and up the, that's worrying if you're putting bales in here. Now these, it says in the Modhub as well, these side panels are raised on stilts to allow airflow through underneath as well, which obviously again in the real world makes far more difference than it does actually in game. Now with seasons out for PC and coming soon to console, how soon I don't know, but it is coming, shelters are going to be far more relevant, especially with bale storage, because if you leave bales out they decompose, they gradually degrade, and they eventually disappear if you leave them out. So any kind of shelter is going to become far more relevant if you want to go for something a little bit different, and this is a really interesting design. It is something completely different. This may be the thing for you. I like it. I think it's really nice actually. Moechtegernbauer brings out some really cool stuff. Well, most modders bring out really cool stuff, but you know. Let's close that back down again. So in store, this is under, I think it was under sheds. There we go. The Hay Warehouse, 20,000. And that's it really. Placing it, as long as the area is flat and level, otherwise you obviously incur fees for levelling the ground as well. We can rotate it round whatever position we want, but there you go. That's it, the Hay Warehouse by Moechtegernbauer. I'm just going down my list. I think I've got everything in. I apologise if it was a little bit of a rush, but we'll try and get it all done. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.